Oh, people, get the cavalry here. All right, we got good stuff here today, people. So we are knee deep in full out algebra that's going on here. So we are in day number 2, all right, of our lesson number 6. So if we kind of take a trip down memory lane, all right, we were collecting rational number-like terms. More of the same here, except it's going to be organized a little bit differently. But we're going to be using the same techniques of, hey, rational numbers, they're fractions. We're going to need common denominators, that kind of stuff. So here we go, example number 4. Now, there's a lot that's going on here, so we're really going to stretch it out to show you what we're dealing with. But the thing is similar. In order to add or subtract fractions, you need a common denominator. So I'm staring at the 20. I'm staring at the 5. All right, I'm looking at, hey, U2. I'm looking at U10. I'm coming up with at least common denominator. This is why we don't want to just simply rely on multiply them together, because that's what a lot of us do, unfortunately, is we just multiply the denominators together. No. I got a 20, a 5, a 2, and a 10. Smallest number that they can all fit into. All right, they all got to fit into it. So the general thing to do is to start with the biggest number and go through their multiples. So regarding the 20, I'd be looking at numbers like 20, 40, 60, 80. Now, here we go. Well, what can all these fit into? Well, yeah, 20 is our winner. We can divide all those numbers into the 20. So 20 divided by 5, that works. 20 divided by 2, that works. 20 divided by 10, that works. So I've got a common denominator of 20. So here we go. We're really going to stretch this out here. So I got a 20, a plus, a 20, a plus, a 20, plus, and then a 20. I got 4 fractions that are there, so I need that common denominator. So let's start with the first one. All right, I've got a 20, and whoa, look at that. It's still a 20. Well, what do you multiply 20 by to get 20? 1. All right, so let's multiply. X times 1 is just an X. So this is one thing we do want to notice, is that if the denominator doesn't change, the numerator doesn't change. So you don't have to say multiply by 1, because when you multiply something by 1, it doesn't change it. Let's check out the next one. We had a 5, but now I have a 20. So what do you multiply the 5 by to get to 20? Well, we multiply it by a 4. So I'm going to go up higher here, and then I'm going to get my answer underneath here. So you might want to pause on the writing here so you can see what I'm doing. I need to multiply that numerator by a 4, because like we said, 5 times 4 is 20. So I need to do 4 times 2x. 4 times 2x is 8x. So that's who's going to go as my new numerator. So you see, if you leave a little bit of space, you can do the work right above it. Let's go to the next one. It's a 2. All right, what do you multiply the 2 by to get to 20? 10. So I've got to multiply 10 by everyone. So that's why I use the parentheses, because our distributive property is going to be in action here. 10 times x, 10x. 10 times 1, 10. There we go. And then let's go to the last one. I can see here I've got a 10. I need to get to a 20. So what do you multiply by? Well, 2. So I need to multiply all of it by 2. So 2 times 3x, 6x. 2 times that negative 1, a negative 2. Now that I've got a common denominator, I can add everyone up together. So 20 is my denominator. Let's go to the x's. X plus 8x, 9x. 9x plus 10x, 19x. 19x plus 6x, there's a 25x. But don't forget, we still have our numbers there. I got a 10 and a negative 2. There's 8. It's a positive 8. So there we go. 25x plus 8 all over 20. So this is one of those things of organization of your information is really going to come into play. All right. Let's see who else we want to. I think we really want to go after. Okay. All right. Example 5 looks good. All right. Yes. Okay. So here we go. Example number 5. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to clean something up first. I notice here that I can go ahead and I can do my distributive property here. So we're just going to clean this up a little bit. So that's a 6x minus, and then an 8. I'm going to multiply that 2 to everyone. All over 6 minus, and then the 5x plus 2 all over the 8. So, okay, so I see the 6 and the 8. I don't want to use 48. Just don't multiply 6 times 8 and get 48 because the simplifying is going to be a hassle. So again, if you want to go with the larger number and you want to list them out, you can, but we would really like you to be able to go through your multiplication facts. 6 and 8, the smallest number we can pull out is we can divide them both by 24. So 24 is going to be my common denominator. All right, so I see a 6. I got to multiply it by a 4, so that means I need to multiply all of you by a 4. So just like before, distribute. 4 times 6x is a 24x. 4 times the negative 8 is a negative 32. All right. Now, 8 times what gives me the 24? 3. So I'm going to place the 3 that's out here. All right. So 3 times 5x, 15x. 3 times 2, 6. All right. Here's what we've got to watch for. Big old nasty subtraction sign that's here. All right. The subtraction sign's going to cause some issues here as we go through it. So what do you think that we should do with it? Well, yeah, distribute it. All right. We're going to end up distributing that negative. Remember, it's within a fraction bar. So if we're in a fraction bar, we're really wrapped in parentheses. So, yes, 24x minus 32, nothing going on there. But then it becomes a minus 15x and a minus 6. We have to distribute that negative. So I'm going to write it all out here at once. I've got the 24x. I've got the minus 32. But now I've got to distribute that negative. So it's a negative 15x and then a minus a 6. And again, my common denominator here is a 24. So here we go. 24x combined with a negative 15x. Well, all right. How about a 9x? And then negative 32 and a negative 6, negative 38. And there's my 24. Shows over, we're done. All right. If you would have used 48 as the common denominator, all right, what you're going to find is you would have had to have simplified. And so it's worth talking about. Yes. All right. It's worth talking about. If you used 48, what you would have ended up with is an 18x minus a 76 over 48. And here's what we want you to notice. What can you divide all these numbers by? Well, it's the number 2. And that's how the simplifying works, is you have to divide it into all of them. Not just choose 2 numbers, but all of them. So 2 does work. So 18x divided by 2, that gets me to the 9x. 76, everything's being divided by 2. When you look over here, and I'm like, well, is there a number I can divide all 3 of them by? The answer is no. I mean, I can divide 9 and 24 by 3, but I can't do 38 divided by 3. We could sit here for a while trying to come up with something. We're not, all right? But again, that's why we don't want to just always multiply things together. So, yeah, good problems here, people. Nice job. We'll get after this here tomorrow.